Well, this has been Bible study.
I beat the media down in my time before they cheap shot. I water the flower pot, sprout knowledge on your parking lot. You take it through your city block. Some might love me not, well forget me not. I'm Johnny on the spot.
All right. We're still giving away guests. We're still putting people's name on the list for the time slot guest list for Connections on Friday night. However, there was a scheduling situation, so the comedian was not able to make it to the show. But we had another guest lined up, and I'm glad to introduce y'all to Mike Paskey. Now, Mike Paskey, he's a videographer? Is that what you
I like to think maybe cinematographer or camera guy, whatever. I can call it a lot of things. But I guess my favorite thing I'd like to call myself would be a cinematographer. But I mean, you know. Whatever.
Cinematographer. That's a fancy sounding name. I like that.
Yeah, I think the reason why I like that better than videographer is because, you know, you can consider someone doing, you know, news, photog work, or like studio camera stuff as just someone that kind of points a camera at something. And a cinematographer uses lighting, camera movement, depth of field, and a lot of other things to really, you know, create a certain feeling and you know, I'm really not ever on TV. This is really weird. This is cool. But yeah, you kind of understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. You're on a roll. But you used to being behind the scenes.
I sounded really smart for a while there.
You're used to being behind the camera, so being in front of the camera does have a different, especially when you can see yourself right there.
Yeah, I know.
Right there. I put video director.
You know, that's cool.
Have you worked with film?
Actual, like, 35 or 16 millimeter film?
Like film.
No. I pretty much have done a lot of research to make projects that I've done where I've shot in video look like film. But
Well, the reason why I asked, and is because it's something that I had to decide for myself. Filmmaker, I've made movies, so they say filmmaker, but I haven't worked with film. And I wouldn't know the first thing to do with film.
Right.
So to have respect for that craft, I said, well, I'm a movie maker or a video cinematographer.
Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of a funny thing. People use the word film a lot. I mean, when someone says they're going to just shoot their family's, you know, reunion or something, they're like, oh, well, you know, Uncle Joe's filming right now. And, you know, I think a lot of people like you and me, they're like, well, he's not really filming. And if I'm shooting music video on a video camera or even a movie, a short film, like short movie, whatever, on a video camera, you know, it's one of those terms that, you know, there's going to be some people that are like, well, you're not filming unless you're shooting on 35 or 16 millimeter.
Well, way back in the day, Uncle Vinny or whatever was filming.
Yeah, I mean, like you're talking about before there was video?
Right, when they had the film, because I remember seeing myself and, jiggling all around in the film, the film things that you had with the film projectors and stuff. But, now with the technology and video and stuff like that, I don't know, it's just something personally with me that I think I'm trying to remain true and respect the craft of filmmaking, which I don't know if I'll ever get there.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would definitely love to have the opportunity someday to shoot on 16 and 35 millimeter film. And, until then, like I was mentioning, I've pretty much done a lot of research and finding the best way to, make video look more like film, because it's got a completely different look. It's more dreamy. It doesn't have the harsh, look of like video.
Right.
And, you know, it's kind of just like a lot of other things I can think of in my life. I mean, trying to figure out the best way to get, you know, a good grade in a class by what the teacher wants, or
Right.
to look at film, it's just figuring out different ways to get than what you want. So I shoot on a Panasonic DVX-100A mini DV camera, and that, as far as I know, that camera and Canon's GL2 are the only mini DV cameras that can shoot in that 24p frame rate, which is the same as film, as compared to 60i, which has the harsh video look of, like when you see a package shot like on your local news or something.
Right. Now, for the people that are completely flipping out and get ready to change the channel, 24, what is that? What were you talking about, the 24 frame per second?
24p.
Right.
The P stands for progressive. Pretty much the way the video is captured, like the video that we're watching right now, it looks a lot different than when you're going to go see Ocean's 12 next week or whatever. And what that is because video is captured 60 different interlaced frames, and each of those frames is like partly interlaced with the frame before or after it. So this looks really real, like the motion is compared to, if you ever see a shot in a movie where the camera is moving really fast, it almost looks like, you know, like jittery, because there's less frames in the shot. So in video, the 60 interlaced frames, it creates this kind of look, and then 24p, it's like actually taking 24 progressive pictures.
In a second.
That's right. And that may still sound like a lot for 1 second.
Right.
But you know, compared to video, it has a completely different look. And I mean, people have been using video cameras to try to create a film look for a long time. Before the GL2 or the DVX-100 and DVX-100A could shoot in 24p, Canon's XL1 and GL1 were really popular because they had two different settings. They had a movie mode thing, and there was normal, which looks like this video right here, and then there was what they called frame movie mode. And instead of being 24p, it was essentially mimicking 30p. So instead of 60 interlaced fields, it looked like 30 progressive frames. It wasn't really, but it definitely was a big step for people like us with like not a lot of money to shoot on film to create something that did look a lot more like film. And I think the fact that the XL1s and the GL1s have kind of started that, and now it's gotten to where it is now, I think it's going to be really exciting as, you know, high definition 24p, you know, video and filmmaking becomes a lot more accessible. Right now, Sony has a camera that is a mini DV high definition camera that can shoot, I think only in 60i, but I mean within a number of years, I mean, it'll be a lot easier for everybody to shoot in high definition, which is really exciting.
It is exciting, and hopefully it helps out in the craft for everyone. Like I said before, Mr. Chili Chavez was not able to make it to the show this evening. Forgot who was performing tonight at Connections, but Chili will be here there Friday. Now, he was a staff writer at Leno now. What was it before? Carson. Johnny Carson. I think he was a staff writer on the Johnny Carson show.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So I don't know if he was still on staff when Leno, Tonight Show. Yeah, Tonight Show, Jay Leno. So he was, I don't know if he was on with Leno or not, but I know he was recently on staff writer for that show, the Tonight Show. So it's funny, has some experience underneath his belt, guaranteed to make you laugh. So if you want to get on the time slot guest list, we're going to go to video and we're going to be taking your phone calls. So let's do that, and we'll answer the phone. And enjoy the funny stuff.
That looked over, it was a police car. We're horny. Yes, we are.
The one, the only, Mr. Johnny John.
All right, haha, very funny. We're back live. It's time slot. I'm your host, Malik. Thanks for joining us. And we have Mr. Mike Paskey. What did you say? Video cinematographer. I'm just...
Yeah. That's cool. Dude. Guy. Video guy.
So how did you learn how to do this kind of stuff? I mean, did you go to school?
Yeah, I did go to Michigan State University, and I studied telecommunications. I was mostly more into the classes that were audio video stuff, which that part of the department they called DMAT, Digital Media Art and Technology. The first thing I ever did that got me interested at all in any sort of audio and video stuff was my high school senior year in Lincoln High School in Ypsilanti. We had a little news show that we would show during homeroom, and I just thought it was so fun that you could try to just create different ways to make an interesting little show that would make people want to watch. Because the year before us, I remember being in junior high school and thinking, man, this is so boring. Like, these people never try to do anything fun. And so we took a lot of liberties and got in a lot of trouble trying to like take the crew in like the girls' locker room, or like drive around in cars using wireless mics and like having people talk in one car while reading the announcements and just like weird stuff like that. And it was so much fun that you know, coming to state, I got involved with WELG at first, which was like East Lansing's, I think, public TV, and I was in the basement of City Hall, and they've pretty much not really went under, but they don't really staff very many people or do much anymore. And then I started working at WKR, which was a pretty good experience. But the main thing that first really got me experience doing the kind of stuff that I do now, I shoot commercials now at WILX, Channel 10, and you know, make music videos on the side, was I got the opportunity to work for a company called Zoom Culture, which was based out of North Carolina. And what they were, more than a regular job, it was a network of really audio, video people, directors, cinematographers, mostly students, and people in their, you know, low to mid 20s from all over the country that had their own equipment, and basically they would shoot short packages for the TV shows that Zoom Culture made. And the first show, Playground Earth, was about extreme sports, and it never actually aired in the United States, but it did air on Fox Sports International in Japan, Brazil, and in Spain. And so when I'd send them the short clips I did one on, actually two short ones on ice climbing, people that climb frozen waterfalls. And I'd send them a copy with like the music and English dialogue and everything, and then I would also have to send them a copy without any English dialogue so they could dub it over. And I never got to see any of those copies of it dubbed over, which would have been really fun. But then the other show that actually did get syndicated here in the United States was a show called Hip Hop Nation. And I did a couple of packages for it. They didn't get on there at first. And then I ended up doing a package on two Detroit rappers named Frank and Dank. And it got on the show, and at the time the show was being syndicated nationally on WB and UPN affiliates, and it was in, I think, 75% of American households. So that was really the first big step for me, like to be able to do something that, you know, got seen by like a wide audience. I don't know what the ratings were, but just the fact that someone in California and someone in Rhode Island probably saw it, you know, was really cool.
Maybe not Rhode Island so much.
Yeah, there's only like 10 people there, so.
Hip Hop Nation, maybe not Rhode Island so much, but nice.
But and so that was a lot of really good experience as far as just having to set shoots up with people and just, you know, go out there and make it happen and then bring it home and take the time to edit things together to make them look great. And so then I kind of, after graduating, was lucky enough to find the job that I have at WILX. I work in the creative services department, and we produce local commercials. And the first thing anybody ever asks me when I say that I shoot local commercials, they're like, "Oh, do you do Sundance?" And I'm like, "No, I don't do Sundance." I've had to do some crappy commercials where we would tell clients, you know, like, what would look good in a commercial, and they wouldn't want them. Like, I've shot some Rose City Motors commercials, and I'm sad to say it, but we shoot it the way they want it. We're paying for it. We're like, here, don't you want a lav mic so you don't have a big handheld mic in your face? And the owner of the business, he prefers to hold a big handheld mic in front of his face and different things like that. But it is a lot of fun getting to drive around and meet different people and figure out the best way to make their, you know, product or service look good. So, and on the side.
And on the side, you do these music videos. Now, how did you get started in doing these music videos?
Well, when I first got my equipment, I used a G4 Macintosh computer and Final Cut Pro to edit. And when I first started, I just got a one-chip mini DV camera. It's a Sony TRV-17, and you know, I was doing these different packages for Zoom Culture for their two shows, Playground Earth and Hip Hop Nation. And before Hip Hop Nation got syndicated nationally, I was like, man, I'm trying really hard to, you know, like, do good stuff for these guys. I hope something comes of it. Luckily it did with the Frank and Dank segment. But I'm like, you know, I really want to try to do something, you know, creative that's not, you know, like a news thing or not, you know, just something creative. And I really hadn't done something like that before. So the first music video I shot was a different music video for the same band, Know Lyfe. And, you know, we broke into somewhere that we weren't supposed to go to try to have a cool setting. And it came out pretty good, but it was really a learning experience. And it really helped me figure out what I knew I wanted to do on the next video. And the second video I did was for a local rapper, Third Degree.
Oh, well, we're going to see the Know Lyfe first, so we're going to talk.
I didn't say that.
We're going to talk about that later. So let's go ahead and check out this video directed by Mike Paskey. It's called Escopia.
Yep.
By Know Lyfe.
Know that everything you are just suffocates me inside, and I know that you won't feel the same way that I feel this alone. God, I know that you can make it much better, and I know you look deep in my eyes and you can't see this world that oh, there you are now, but I still feel that you're gone. Falling on my hands, and it's just dirty to feel the way I can't take this much more. You're driving this crazy, but I know that I still feel the love in this heart, and I can't see why are you so angry at me, because I just want you to know you're so damn beautiful, and I know that I am lost. God, I don't want to feel the way I feel, waking to darkness and the loneliness that eats me inside. They killed 1,000, and I feel that my mouth is I can't stand this blood. Another day, this is killing me. It's taking its toll, it's eating away, it's breaking me down. You think you'll be right? One more look to God, I don't want to feel the same way that I have felt
All right, we're back live. This is Time Slot. I'm your host, Malik, and I'm here with the director of that music video, Mike Paskey. You know, even if you don't, you got to give respect for the quality of the shots of the video and stuff like that, even if you're not into that kind of sound. So I hope people are able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people get all caught up in the music and stuff.
I showed it to one of the account executives that basically sells the airtime at the station, and he had basically my job at the station when he was younger, and he said, you know, I don't know if I'd call that music, but I definitely like the video. So it's definitely a kind of music that, you know, it's not for everybody.
Right.
But, you know, that kind of music I think definitely makes for the opportunity to make an interesting video.
Yeah.
Fast-paced, and you can do a lot of cool things. And I'm glad it worked out as good as it did. Everything came together.
I think you did a good job
Thank you.
bringing in, you know, the live with the storyline going on. You know, infusing that together. I think you did a good job of doing that, and it was shot very nicely. I mean, you know, you said you did some After Effects. We're not going to bore the audience with all
No,
that
actually,
kind
I
of
didn't
stuff.
use any After Effects at all.
Did you say you had a filter on that, or was that the other video?
I used a filter that you can actually use right in Final Cut Pro.
Oh, I see. For all you wannabe NLE people, actually, Comcast has classes where you can learn non-linear editing, and that's free. You can also learn the linear editing, and you can also learn how to do all the stuff in the control room back there and stuff like that. So you can have your very own TV show if you really wanted to. If you really, really wanted to. So that wasn't your first video. We're going to see your first video that you did with Third Degree later.
Right.
This is your second video that you did?
Well, the first video I ever did, I didn't bring.
Oh.
I don't think it's as good as these ones.
Okay.
But the first one basically helped me really put things together to make the one we just watched and the other one that we'll see.
Okay.
I think the level of quality that they are.
How'd you get in touch with these people, Know Lyfe?
I used to live with the guitar player, actually. His name is Jared Pruno, and we met freshman year and had just been good friends, and I mean, you know, I kind of watched his band start out, and, you know, they've come a long way since they started out, like, 4 years ago, and, you know, when I first made the music video from a long time ago that we're not going to show, it was really kind of something I thought would help them, you know, and me too. And I think now that they're at the level where they, you know, they've created their own following. Obviously, there's a lot of kids, you know, at the Liquid Room where we shot the live shots at, and I'm more at the level where I thought that I could really do something that could potentially help them and maybe get the attention of like a record label. So.
Well, it'd be a nice addition to a nice package, that's for sure. Talked to a lot of musicians. I'm like, you know, where's your package? And, you know, they don't have one. So I think, you know, it does kind of go hand in hand. You can kind of watch each other grow and grow with each other. I think that's a phenomenal relationship to develop. So we talked about almost talked about everything. What time is it?
I don't know.
I want to
Come up
keep
with
it.
something.
I want to keep it interesting for the audience. I don't want to get all into the technical jargon and stuff like that about.
Yeah, all that
you know,
stupid 24p stuff
Yeah.
and Final Cut Pro filters.
The
Well,
one
we
thing
can
I
talk
do say
about
to people, though, is when
fun
they're
stuff.
doing stuff, is use a tripod a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do something, you know, like this or almost any kind of interview, yeah, it's a pretty good idea to not have, like, you know, the camera wobbling everywhere.
Well, even if you're at a school function for your kids, get one of those monopod sticks and set that in between your legs and set that dang camera down.
See, yeah, it's true. I mean, tripods are they're definitely necessary for almost anything to do. But there's a lot of really creative stuff that you can do without them. I mean, most of the shots in that music video were shot, well, on a small crane system, and we're not going to keep getting into technical stuff because, you know, it's not that interesting, I guess. But you know, there were very few shots that I shot on just a flat tripod because, you know, moving around a camera, be it on a small crane system with a steady camera, or even just handheld, I mean, it kind of gives you the flexibility to really go wherever. So say you're shooting, you know, a rapper or something, you can really move the camera like all around him and do crazy stuff that you're a little bit restricted with a tripod. So I think
Well, I have respect for that, but a lot of times you see people trying to sit
that
still.
really want to have a steady
and
shot.
then, you know,
yeah.
and I'm looking at their hands, and I'm like, dude, do you know it? And then they zoom in.
And then they zoom in, and it's absolutely everywhere.
I just feel like crying. I'm like, dude, you're just gonna frustrate yourself. You're gonna need Dramamine.
Yeah.
But I understand if you're shooting a music video, then doing this is more controlled than trying to do this.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it really just depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, I think for anybody that just wants to get involved in any sort of video production or, broadcast, I mean, it's really the first tool that you definitely need with a camera. If you're buying a camera, you better get a tripod, because even if you don't want to use it for every project, I mean, it's just something that's a necessity. It's something you need to have for things you're going to be able to do.
Even if
Another
you
good thing is make sure you get a bag.
Oh,
a lot
a
of
bag.
times, I mean, even with digital still cameras, man, it's important. You don't want to get dust in your camera.
Right.
Get the bag and get the tripod.
I still have the static-free wrapper thing that it came in when it shipped, and I put that in my video bag. And my camera's only this big. My video bag is this big.
Yeah.
People always laugh at me. Why do you have such a big video bag? I go, well, I got batteries, I've got tapes, I have microphones, I have all this stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot more than
remote.
just the camera.
I don't want a bag this big that barely fits the camera, and then I can't even put a tape in it. So
Yeah, it's not an iPod. It'd be cool if it was, I guess. All my roommates have iPods except for me. Like, there's 4 other people that live in my house, 2 upstairs and a different door, and then 2 downstairs with me. And everyone's like, Mike, why don't you have an iPod yet? They're so cool. I'm like, I don't go to class anymore, and that's why I listen to my Discman. I listen to music in my car, and I have a ton of CDs, so I don't want to waste all this time.
I have this
putting
cool
everything on a
camera.
stupid
I have this cool camera.
It's like, yeah, I don't need an iPod. I've got a video camera that can shoot 24p.
All right. Once again, Burnt Chili Chavez? Forgot his name. I had an issue today. Sorry. But anyway, we're taking, if you want to call and get on the guest list for Friday night's Connection show, you can go to the 8 o'clock show or the 10:15 show. The 8 o'clock show is a smoke-free show, and the 10:15 is Smoke 'em If You Got 'em show. And we will be right back right after this video when we're taking phone calls. Alrighty. Short video break for us. Wet our whistle a little bit. You work for a TV station, right? What was it, Channel 10?
Yep, I work right down the street from where we are right now. Right now we're on Miller. You just keep going.
Pennsylvania.
Right after Pennsylvania. Channel 10 in the front parking lot of Celebration Cinema's movie theater, and I work in the department called the Creative Services Department.
Is that the NBC affiliate?
That's right, yep. But we, as a station now, this is kind of interesting, a lot of people don't realize it, but I don't really work with the news that much. I help them out with some things, but we actually now also produce Fox 47's news. So when you watch news on Fox 47, it's in WILX's studio. And everybody that you see on the news for Fox 47 News is not an employee of Fox. They're an employee of WILX Channel 10. Isn't that weird?
They just did that.
Yeah, it was like a couple months
ago.
There's still so many people at the station now. Like, I don't know who all these people are. Like, the other day, like...
But they can't, Fox 47 can't use the NBC's Doppler, though. Can they?
Well, no, it is the same. It's the same. I mean, there's, if you notice, like, it's a lot of the same reporters. And I think they have their own weather guy, and I think what it is because we have the Channel 10 weather lab, he has to only do key wall stuff because they don't want him to use that. It's really weird. And there's so many people at the station now, we're like jam-packed, like basically 2 TV stations with the people in one station. And and like the other day, someone was like, hey, are you going out to the bar tonight? Because it's such and such's last day. I'm like, who's that? They're like, oh, she's, for Fox. She's like Fox anchor or something. I'm like, Well, for one, I'm on cash, and for two, I really have no idea who that is.
Don't know who any of you people are.
Yeah. I just hide in my little apartment and go out and, like, say, shoot people. And their stuff.
Shoot
With a video
people.
camera.
Oh, that's funny. And I guess you got to be careful in this day and age of
Of who you shoot.
and who you're talking to with terrorism and everything. And with that, we're going to go to another video because it's the holiday season, and we care here at Time Slot, and we want to remind you to be safe. So check this out, and we'll be right back.
I'm late from the bar one night, and I see this. And the police officer says this.
Possibly alcohol related. We won't know that until we get to the hospital with the driver. Don't have much else for you. Obviously, it looks like the passenger's head went through the windshield. I think that's the subject that's going to the hospital.
Yeah, but I was looking at this. I don't drink and drive, and I don't get in the car with somebody that's been drinking. I'm not gonna let them drive me home, because I don't want this to happen to me. When I get in the car, I remember to put on my seatbelt, because I don't want to see this. Drinking and driving, that ain't no joke. It's simple. Save your life. All it takes is an instant, and it can go bad. All it takes is an instant, and you can save your life.
This public service announcement brought to you by Me To You Productions, because we care about the community. So anyway, you've got this third degree guy. Now this is totally different flavor. Going here, how'd you meet these people?
Well, I actually met Mario, who's rapper Third Degree, that spells degree with 2 G's. People always ask me, like, dude, I think you spelled his name wrong. But no, it's Deggree. I met him because I've been into electronic music a lot since I was 16 years old, and I liked going to warehouse parties and
You
stuff.
say that like you're 50 now.
Back in the day, I really into electronic music, and a lot of people didn't really realize this about Mario. Is he's always been a great rapper ever since I've known him. When I was a freshman in college, is I think when I met him, and he hung out with a lot of kids who were into electronic music, a kind called drum and bass or jungle, if you've heard of that. And that's the one kind of electronic music that it's actually become more common for them to have an MC over top of it. But it's not like, a rap song. It's definitely a different kind of style. I mean, there's been some some drum bass producers that have done stuff where people like, Redman has a CD that Ronnie Size, big drum bass producer, did one of his songs. I mean, the two different kind of styles have meshed a lot more than rap has meshed with techno or house or anything else.
Right.
And so there's a collective of drum and bass DJs called La Resistance, and it was just a few guys, and they all spun drum and bass. And some of them lived at this house in East Lansing, and Mario was over there all the time, and he just started, rapping over top of their stuff, and it was so different to like everyone else that had drum and bass DJs. They liked it at MCs because generally the MCs for a lot of drum and bass DJs were more just like the kind of people that get the crowd hype. They weren't actually really talented rappers like Mario was. So when people saw like, some of the sets these guys did, like they would do a set of like three DJs at one time on 5 turntables, like mixing records and like scratching, and like he'd be rapping over top of it, and like nobody I knew had ever seen anything like it. I mean, it was just great. And they ended up kind of really just going their separate ways because Mario, I mean, hip hop obviously is his love, and he was still great with those guys, but he just had to do what he had to do. And so he released an EP on a record label that him and I believe his brother started. I think it's Eighth Wonder Entertainment, and they recorded it in Chicago, and the sound quality was really good. And just knowing for so long that he was so talented, you know, I really wanted to help him out. And so he asked me what I thought about doing some video work for it when we were at a party once, and you know, we just talked more and more about it, and we're like, you know, let's not just make this a video of you rapping, like, let's actually make a music video. And so we shot it at the Temple Club, which a lot of Lansing people I'm sure are familiar with, and I came up with a storyline that I incorporated into this video. The storyline comes in about a minute into the video, and one of the things that's really hard for a lot of rappers to convey in a rap music video is if they're a really good freestyle rapper, because obviously if you see a video on BET or MTV,
right,
it's something that they wrote and, you know,
right,
they produced the song. And so I'm like, man, this guy is such a great freestyle rapper. He's so great at rapping off the top of his head. You know, I'd love to incorporate something into the video that kind of conveys that. And so I'm like, well, you know, and this is when I was still, this is when I was finishing up in school, and I knew so many different people who, you know, were in college at Michigan State and other people at LCC. And whenever they do a creative project like a movie or a music video, every single person seemed about the same age. Like dads would be about 22 and like kids would be like 18. Like everybody was like the same age. I'm like, well, how about, you know, it'd be really interesting to do something with some little kids getting into a rap battle, like a freestyle rap battle. And so I came up with the storyline, and it mixed kind of well with the video. In addition to shooting mine also at the Temple Club, I also shot him rapping at an abandoned mental institution in Ypsilanti, which is, it's called like the Center for Forensic Psychiatry or something, and my friend and I broke in there, and we're like, man, this place is awesome. And then I was trying to figure out, like, I really want to add another video track of Mario rapping, like, we should break back into this place and do it. And we did, and it came out pretty good.
All right, so let's check it out. It's Third Degree, and it's Crowd Control, directed by Mike Paskey.
Yeah. Third Degree. Eighth Wonder Entertainment. Crowd Control. Speak to him. Uh-huh. Yeah. The time has come for me to explain the way thirds bring it heat to the game. When I speak with a flame, I have you not eating, not seeing, not thinking, not speaking, not breathing the same. And these cats out here ain't really reaching my plane. I don't even need a piece when I aim. I shoot lyrics that'll seep through the brain with a technique that'll teach you to change, plus leave a breach in your frame. And I won't be held back. I'm free of your chains. While you lanes keep seeing a drain. If rap was a sport and we was on the same team, you dream on the side, coach, to keep me in the game. See, 313 be my area code. Since the youth I've been burying foes, putting cats in a stereo mode. I spit a free that I have backpackers quick carrying flows. And you ask, is third hot? Like fresh shells exhale from the Glock. I be the highest octane that ever came from the block. Son, I burst your thermostat when I step in the spot. So don't tick me off, cause I'm bound to explode. Make you put a mic down to the show. Rap king, keep a crown on the fro. Real recognize real, son, just give me a pound and you'll know. Cause it's all hands up. Keep them in the atmosphere. You better make sure the facts is clear. Eighth Wonder be the team guaranteed to raise stats this year. And my crew roll deep. Of course, Third Degree's holding the heat. See, we live by the code of the streets, so say, while I keep crowd controlling the beat. Yo, this is it. My click's thick, spit sick. We on a rise like Bisquick. Better check the statistics, cause it's the verbal misfit. Shots leave you limp like biscuit. And this right here be ballistic. Plus I got a style that'll leave your grill twisted. Rapper so soft, y'all should start rocking lipstick. Trying to test Third Degree, I wouldn't risk it. Blaze any mic at the drop of a dime. I'm stone cold, always rocking a rhyme. Metaphorically a prophet with lines. The verse is clockwise, so you guys will never stop in my shine. And I love hip-hop to the day that I die. Being ill, I wouldn't say that I try. You haters that orchestrated a lie, better know that when I see you, I'ma have something to say to your eye. Cause I'm Viva La. resisting the fake, ripping to put people's position at stake. You don't have the ammunition it takes. Sick of hearing about frosted wrists when y'all just some fakes, and I spit raw war whenever I speak. Similar to when the veterans speak. The MP keep me clever with beats. What a cat got your tongue? Come here, let me sever a piece, cause it's all hands up. Keep them in the atmosphere. You better make sure the facts is clear. Eighth one to be the team, guaranteed to raise stats this year. And my crew roll deep. Of course, third degrees holding the heat. See, we live by the code of the streets, so say, while I keep crowd controlling the beat. Yo, this goes out to my wild and blasted cats on 7 Mile and Gratiot, and all of my fam in the D right now, and the ones in the struggle to be free right now. Put your hands up with Deggree right now. Flagrant in the basement, cats be like foul. One wrong move and gats be like blow. For cats in the city, that's the lifestyle. My peoples around me, they hold me down. Eighth wonder gon' be the ones to mold the sound. I won't say nothing then, cause I told you now. Third degree, you heard of me, the one that showed you style. What's up? Move with me, crowd control. Bounce with me, crowd control. Rock with me, yeah, crowd control. Eighth wonder, son, we got the crowd control. Come on. All hands up. Keep them in the atmosphere. You better make sure the facts is clear. Eighth one to be the team, guaranteed to raise stats this year. And my crew roll deep. Of course, third degrees holding the heat. See, we live by the code of the streets, so say, while I keep crowd controlling the beat. Yo, all hands up. Keep them in the atmosphere. You better make sure the facts is clear. Eighth one to be the team, guaranteed to raise stats this year. And my crew roll deep. Of course, third degrees holding the heat. See, we live by the code of the streets, so say, while I keep crowd controlling the beat.
I'd like to thank Mr. Paskey for coming down and sharing us with your knowledge of cinematography and such.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It was really great to be here.
And then sharing your music videos. Nice work. Nice work. Shooting myself in the foot, though, you know. You realize that, don't you?
How's that?
Well, I try to do the same thing. So now everybody's going to be going to your website to try to get you to do their video.
No, I right now I actually am looking to make a deal with a band or other form of musician. So I mean, if anybody out there's interested, you can check out my website. I know we had it on there at the end of the music videos, but it's Abstruse, which is kind of hard to spell. ABSTRUSE FILMS.com, and I'm sure not many people had a pen ready, but
Well, they can always
call this guy.
Call this guy
during the show, and you can get a hold of me. If
we'll see you next week. It's going to be more fun. We're going to have more comedy and stuff, and I forget the other guest, but it's going to be fun. Oh, music. We're going to have music. A musician is going to be on next week. So check that out and be good to each other.
Thank you.